Chapter 21. Jesus looked up and saw the rich putting their gifts in the offering box. And he saw a poor widow put 2 small copper coins. And he said, "Truly, I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all of them. For they all contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, put all she had to live on." And while some were speaking of the temple, how it was adorned with noble stones and offerings, he said, "As for these things that you see, the days will come when there will not be left here one stone upon another that will not be thrown down." And they asked him, "Teacher, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of when these things are about to take place?" And he said, "See that you are not led astray, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and the time is at hand. Do not go after them. And when you hear of wars and tumults, do not be terrified, for these things must first take place, but the end will not be at once." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes, and in various places famines and pestilences. And there will be terrors and great signs from heaven. But before all this, they will lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons. And you will be brought before kings and governors for my name's sake. This will be your opportunity to bear witness. Settle it therefore in your minds not to meditate beforehand how to answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which none of your adversaries will be able to withstand or contradict. You will be delivered up even by parents and brothers and relatives and friends, and some of you they will put to death. You will be hated by all for my name's sake, but not a hair on your head will perish. By your endurance you will gain your lives. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation has come near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let those who are inside the city depart. And let not those who are out in the country enter it, for these are days of vengeance to fulfill all that is written. Alas for women who are pregnant, and for those who are nursing infants in those days. For there will be great distress upon the earth, and wrath against its people. They will fall by the edge of the sword and be led captive among all nations, and Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And there will be signs in sun, moon, and stars, and on the earth distress of nations in perplexity, because of the roaring of the sea and the waves, people fainting with fear and with foreboding of what is coming on the world. For the powers of heavens will be shaken, and then they will see the Son of Man coming on a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to take place, straighten up and raise your heads, because your redemption is drawing near." And he told them a parable. "Look at the fig tree and all the trees. As soon as they come out in leaf, you see for yourselves and know that summer is already near. So also, when you see these things taking place, you know that the kingdom of God is near. Truly I say to you, this generation will not pass away until all has taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But watch yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with dissipation and drunkenness and the cares of this life. And that day will come upon you suddenly like a trap, for it will come upon all who dwell on the face of the whole earth. But stay awake at all times, praying that you may have strength to escape all these things that are going to take place, and to stand before the Son of Man." And every day he was teaching in the temple, but at night he went out and lodged at the mount called Olivet. And in the morning all of the people came to him in the temple to hear him. Luke 21 opens with a quiet moment in the temple, one that could easily be missed if Jesus hadn't pointed it out. People are coming in and giving their offerings, and among the wealthy donors is a poor widow who drops only 2 small coins. It's almost nothing, but Jesus pauses the whole scene to say that she, not the wealthy, has given the most. Her gift wasn't big, but it was costly. And that's the heart of this moment. Jesus sees value differently than we do. He sees sacrifice. He sees trust. He sees a heart fully surrendered, not what impresses people, but what honors God. It's a reminder to us that what we bring to the Lord isn't measured by size or perfection, but by sincerity. Sometimes the smallest acts of obedience are the ones that matter most. From here, the chapter shifts dramatically. Some in the crowd are admiring the beauty of the temple, its massive stones, its splendor, and Jesus responds by saying that the entire structure will one day be torn down. He is speaking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, but he's also laying the foundation for something much bigger, the reality that earthly security never lasts forever. The disciples naturally want details. When will these things happen? What signs should we watch for? And Jesus gives them a mixture of near-term and long-term warnings. False teachers claiming to speak for God, wars and political turmoil, natural disasters, persecution for his followers. And while some of these signs would take place within the disciples' lifetime, others point further down the timeline towards the return of Christ and the end of the age. The tone isn't meant to stir panic. It's meant to prepare. Jesus wants his people to be alert, grounded, and steady. The world may shake, but God does not. In the middle of these warnings, Jesus gives a powerful promise. Not a hair on your head will perish, but your endurance will gain your lives. He is not promising a comfortable life. He is promising a secure eternity. In other words, hold on. Stay faithful. Keep trusting in him even when the world feels chaotic. And that message is as relevant for us today as it was then. Our circumstances may be different, but the call is the same. Don't let fear drive you. Let faith ground you. Then Jesus lifts the conversation beyond the destruction of Jerusalem and speaks about his return, the moment when the Son of Man will come in power and glory. And instead of telling his followers to hide or panic, he says, stand up, lift your heads, because your redemption is near. Followers of Jesus don't brace for judgment. We look forward to redemption. For believers, the return of Christ isn't a threat, it's a hope. Jesus ends with a simple parable. When the fig tree starts to sprout leaves, you know summer is coming. In the same way, the signs he mentioned are reminders, nudges to stay spiritually awake. He warns against two dangers: getting weighed down by the anxieties and pleasures of life, becoming dull to the reality of eternity. And he gives a simple, practical encouragement. Stay awake. Pray continually. Jesus wants us to live with eyes open, not fearful, but expectant, not distracted, but faithful, not overwhelmed, but anchored in a truth that his kingdom is coming. Luke 21 invites us to look at our lives through two lenses: faithful giving and the present and faithful endurance for the future. The widow shows us what trust looks like today, right now, in the small things. The teachings of Jesus show us how to stand firm when life gets uncertain. All of it, every warning, every encouragement, points us to one truth: Jesus is coming again. And those who belong to him can lift their heads with hope, not fear.